Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome to the Sprint. Thanks for joining us on WSLS.com. I am Daphne Gray. It is just me today. My girl Jazzy Jazz has a different shift today, but it's okay because guess what? We are actually going into the comment section online. That's coming up later in the Sprint. You know, right here on this show, we're all about taking a break from all that heavy, dramatic, stressful, high blood pressure causing news cycle of the day. And this is a time where we just flesh out some of the viral stories that are going around, some of the good stuff that is happening in our community, but more than anything, some things that'll make you cringe and some things that'll make you just think to yourself, what were you thinking? That's what we got, a classic case of that going on, all dealing with a traffic stop that you've probably seen online, but we're going to break it all down today. Check it out.
You even admitted to me that you went 50. I understand that, ma'am. I understand that.
You know what?
Yeah, this chick right here is actually a New York district attorney, busted for going 55 and a 35, but said that she did not feel like pulling over. Homegirl got in trouble and is caught all on body camera footage. We got the whole breakdown of what that body camera footage was, how kind of embarrassing it was for her. We also got the apology that she came out with, but unfortunately for her, many people didn't take too kindly to her words. So we're going into the comment section on that. And again, just to give you guys a clear lesson, when law enforcement tell you to do something, you do it. I don't care what kind of position of power you got. First and foremost, before we get into all that good stuff, we got to give credit where credit is due. Show some love to organizations and several organizations who are stepping in and helping in a time of need. For example, you already know we got some cleanup still continuing from dozens of tornadoes that ravaged multiple states over the weekend. Local nonprofits are working to help. For example, you got Gleaning for the World doing their thing, collecting disaster relief supplies in front of the Sam's Club in Lynchburg. We got the details on how you guys can give back and contribute there on our website at WSLS.com. But also we got volunteers with God's Pit Crew. They loaded a truck with more than 1,000 blessing buckets filled with essentials like toiletries, non-perishable food items. And again, get this, the truck is also headed to Nebraska along with play pails.
The play pail is a thing that just to give a kid, to let him know, hey, if they lost all their toys, here we go. Here's a way to give them a little bit of hope back, but also to help them overlook the damage around them.
Yeah, so God's Pit Crew always coming in clutch when it comes down to any kind of disaster, trying to step in to help. It says their immediate disaster response team is also on the ground in Sulphur, Oklahoma, which saw some of the worst damage. Of course, again, you want to see how you can help in their recovery efforts, their cleanup efforts, the rebuilding efforts. Go to our website at WSLS.com. There's always places that you can help, give those resources back up. And again, these communities are dealing with the unthinkable. So many people, we don't have to deal with that. I know a lot of people take that for granted when you're not faced with these catastrophic disasters. But when it hits you, and you can never be prepared for it. So shout out to God's Pit Crew, Gleaning for the World, and all the other organizations out there that are stepping in to help where help is needed. And your health watch, we got to talk about this because we all know mental health is important. And did you know that it's estimated that 1 in 5 adults have some type of mental illness, okay? Knowing the signs and getting a diagnosis opens up treatment options that can help manage those symptoms. Says that experts say it's important to share those symptoms with your doctor, especially if you have signs of depression, feelings like persistent sadness or loss of interest in things that you used to love, or are having trouble sleeping. All important things to share with your doctor.
If you're able to name it or give it a name, it's almost less threatening when you have something that you can point to and say, this is what it is that's bothering me.
So with a diagnosis, symptoms can be treated sooner or referral can be made to get the patient the help that they need. Says that if you know somebody who are struggling with some type of mental health issue or illness or depression of some sort, call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. Again, you guys have the friends. I have friends. We have family members all who are dealing with some form of depression or dealing with some form of, chemical imbalance, I would say, when it comes down to their happiness. So if we can figure out ways to get them the resources they need, again, when you see those symptoms, say something. And then if you yourself yourself are experiencing some type of symptoms, try to seek help as soon as possible. I know a lot of people got that, it's stigmatized where, oh, I don't want to feel like I'm going crazy or this and that. No, it's not even about that. It's about getting the help you need so that you can live a happier and more healthy life. So in my opinion, like I said, seek that help as soon as you can, because again, it can go a long way in the future. And again, if you are suffering, call 988. 988 is something I think is a hotline that everybody's been utilizing a lot when they first put that online. So if you need some help, that's a good step to take to do it. Okay, so we all know we always have those questions when we say, okay, what would we do if we won the Powerball? That's a lot of money that we could love, like everybody would love to have right about now, especially in today's economy. Well, we have a story for you about the winner, and I can't even think of a better winner than this particular guy right now. Of course, winning the breaking record $1.3 billion jackpot. Says his name is Charlie. Portland, Oregon, shared his remarkable story. He says that he and his wife chipped in $100 to buy a batch of tickets with a friend, and now the lucky winners are taking home a lump sum payment of $422 million after Texas. Check out what he had to say.
I found out that I won, so I'm with my partner, and I call her. She's driving on the way to work, and I told her, where you going? What are you doing now? She said, I'm driving on the way to work. And I told her, you don't have to go work now.
Yeah, so if my husband called me up and was just like, yo, you don't have to work anymore, you realize how happy I would be? Like, literally, that would be something that would be a dream come true. And again, the fact of the matter is that he's going to put it to good use, taking care of his family, enjoying his life as much as he can, and also finding a good doctor to help with his cancer treatments. We can only pray for him because, again, that is important. That is something, like I said, I can't think of a better person to win that amount of money. And you know it's going to be good, get put to good use. So I pray that he finds that doctor, and I pray that doctor does whatever it can with all the money that he'll spend in the research and whatever to get him cured as best as he possibly can. But again, congratulations to him. I know I selfishly, everybody always selfishly, when you play it, you're just like, I want it, I can win it, I can put good use to the money. But then when you hear stories like that where people are actually using it for, healthy reasons, you think to yourself, okay, yeah, you deserve it. All right. Something that we all deserve are these warmer temperatures, what we've been dealing with here lately. I know yesterday we actually went to the pool, me, Chris. It was his birthday yesterday, by the way. But Chris and I, our morning team buddies, we all went to the pool and enjoyed a great afternoon under the sun. Today it's not going to be as toasty, but I'll let meteorologist Chris Michaels come in to tell you guys about your Tuesday forecast.
Happy Tuesday, guys. Today not quite as toasty as yesterday. Got some scattered showers and thunderstorms late afternoon into the evening. Most of those are going to be west of US 29. Outside of that, the 80s become a little more widespread once again heading into the later part of the week.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. And again, keep that weather app handy because I know we're supposed to begin some type of little funky action coming in at the end of the week. But yeah, enjoy these warmer temperatures. I walked the dogs yesterday. Bo was getting all hot and tired. He always does that when it's hot outside. But again, sitting by the pool, doing your little tanning thing. All you guys who like to tan, go enjoy it because, I'm telling you, it's much needed. And a lot of people are super excited to get those warmer temperatures now. I know Parker Beasley, being from Florida, this is up his alley. He loves warm weather. All right, guys, coming up after the break, we're breaking down that case that I was telling you about regarding this lady right here.
How am I being?
I am the DA of Monroe County.
Yeah, you sure are the DA, and guess what? You're getting busted because, again, sometimes people in positions of power tend to think that they are above the law, and this is a clear example that shows, no, you're not. Look, guys, we're getting into the details as far as what happened with this case, her apology, and what all you had to say about that apology. That's coming up after the break. Do not go anywhere, right here on The Sprint at WSLS.com. Welcome back to the Sprint, guys. We are all about breaking down some of the craziest stories that we'll hear that are happening all around the world. And you guys have probably seen this video going around online because it did go viral. It's one of those traffic stops that are that's kind of cringy and it's kind of embarrassing when you think about it. But again, it's a great lesson learned that nobody's above the law. So get this, a New York district attorney under investigation after a tense traffic stop caught on body camera, by the way. We got the whole thing. It says in the video, she gets combative with the officer involved at her home and after allegedly refusing to pull over. Just one of the key details in this. Check this out. She says she admitted to that she was going 55 in a 35 zone. Later in a 26-minute video, which is what the whole body cam footage is. I'm not going to bore you guys with all those details, but she says she didn't think that the officer was trying to pull her over, claiming there were other people on the road, and the officer just straight up replied, "Hey, yo, I was right behind you." So yeah, let's get right into it. Brett Vetter reports on this story, and again, we're going to get to the apology afterwards, and we're going into the comments section. Check it out.
Just don't understand the hostility towards me. I'm doing my job.
No, you're being.
How am I being?
I am the DA of Monroe County.
This body cam video is from Wednesday, when a Webster police officer followed Sandra Dorley home after she refused to pull over. Aaliyah Cross was shocked when she first heard about the video, but not surprised.
My reaction is that she's very entitled and somebody that's abusing their power.
John Monroe was outraged.
You just can't think that's because you're a district attorney, you're supposed to be higher than other people. You can't work like that.
This is more body cam video taken as the officer follows Dorley to her home, where she parks in the garage, gets out and is combative with the officer, failing to comply with instructions.
Can you stay over here, ma'am? This is a legal traffic stop. Do you have your ID?
No, it's in my purse.
I was pretty shocked at the entitlement that I saw the DA showing, the disregard for the law.
Rochester City Council member Mary Lupien says she is glad all 9 council members signed onto a letter Saturday morning asking State Attorney General Letitia James to investigate her conduct. Lupien says she wants there to be a full investigation of the traffic stop and a look into DA Dorley's record and is calling for her immediate resignation.
Are there other cases that she felt like someone was above the law? For example, members of law enforcement.
Monroe County legislators joined city council members Saturday evening, calling on Governor Hochul and DA James to investigate. But for people like John Monroe, who's lived in Rochester his whole life, it's about accountability and fairness.
You got to face the penalty. If you're supposed to be taken care of, take care of your business. Be an example.
Be an example is right, guys. This is not the craziest story. Like, come on now. Anytime you see this, you just gotta scratch your head and you just think to yourself, excuse me. Some of the things that she said, she was just like, if you give me a traffic ticket, that's fine. I'm the one that prosecutes it. Go ahead. She said at one point in the video. Then she goes to try to do the whole victim thing, saying that I'm having a really bad day. I've been dealing with murders all over the city. So, yeah. Either way, ma'am, you got to follow the law. I don't care what you say. But again, she did try to apologize. So let's go ahead and get into that apology. And then we're going to get into what you guys had to say about said apology.
If one of my assistant district attorneys had acted this way, I would have disciplined them. So I'm disciplining myself. I will take ethics training to remind myself that professionalism matters. I've been humbled by my own stupidity, and I'm fully to blame. I will make this right. I ask for your forgiveness.
Yeah. Asking for that forgiveness, guys. You just think to yourself, what in the world? Why would you do that? She ultimately pled guilty to the speeding ticket and will pay the fine and is referring the matter to a different district attorney's office for review. She says she's also self-report the case to grievance committee. So, right now, without further ado, let's go to the comment section on how you guys felt about this apology. All right, right, so we're dealing with District Attorney Doyley. Unfortunately, she made the biggest up-oh by basically trying to be above the law, not pulling over when the police asked her to, and again, escalating a situation way bigger than what it had to be, as you heard in the story earlier. But again, let's get to these comments because you guys were not too pleased with this apology. Okay, so Stephanie came in. She says she wasn't sorry and apologizing before this became public. She's only doing it now because she got called out publicly. That entitlement attitude or entitled attitude does not belong in the position of power. She needs to be fired. Charles came in and second that, says she apologized when she realized she was caught and couldn't talk her way out of it. Props to the police officer who acted professionally. Major props to the police officer, because I could tell he was just frustrated because he was just like, ma'am, you know the rules. Follow them. We wouldn't be making this big scene in your garage if you would just pulled over where you were supposed to pull over. All right, so Tim comes in and says, this is the most disturbing part is that she suggested, go ahead and write the ticket. I'm the DA. I feel like that type of corrupt statement should urge defense attorneys to have any case she was involved with looked at again. So yeah, he said he got trust issues all around, which is, again, understandable when people get to clowning like that. Another person came in and says that if there had not been a video, she would have gotten away with her disrespect of the law and an officer just doing his job. Then somebody else said, above the law, indeed. Another commenter came in and they said, seconding it, saying maybe she should leave the office and go somewhere. LOL, your apology is not even genuine. I'm just saying. And then another commenter came in and said she needs ethics training, question mark, question mark. Seriously? To remind herself it matters? No. How about rehab, dear? And here's a reminder for you. Grow up. And Jennifer comes in and says she needs to step down. She wouldn't have given someone else a second chance. You know, so this is, again, a clear case of, dude, we got to follow the law. I don't care who you are. I don't care what position of power you're in. It's people like this that unfortunately create such a distrust in our community between us and the justice system, you know, the judicial system. Like, it's like, come on now, we need you guys. Y'all are the first ones that need to uphold the law. Now, granted, you know, I'll give it a little bit of grace. Okay, maybe you were having a bad day. Maybe you know, something had happened in your situation. I don't know. But again, it's one of those things where I don't care because I'm like, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're going through. When you have people who are respectfully doing their job and you know how their job is and know how the difficult aspects of what all that entails and know how important it is for you to follow a police officer's orders, for you to refuse a traffic stop, get all the way home. Again, this could have escalated in a way that would have been the most irrational escalation ever. So I hope people who are watching this video, people who are seeing this online, looking at the comment section, again, this ain't a way to shame. I'm not trying to shame anybody. Again, we call out, we hold people accountable. We call them out when they are being kind of stupid. And unfortunately, this is one of those situations where it's just like, okay, here's why we're calling you out, and here's why, hopefully, this is a reminder to everybody else out there, even on a local level, no matter if you're in some type of high power position, or if you're just a regular, normal Joe Blow, you know, Jane Doe like myself, point blank, you need to follow the law. I don't care what you're going through in your life or whatever. Follow the law. And again, this could have easily been over with a simple speeding ticket, even though I still think 55 and a 35 is pretty intense. Either way, yeah, so that's that story. And of course, if you guys got more stories you want us to chit chat about right here on The Sprint, you already know what to do. Drop it in the comment section. Go to our website at WSLS.com. We got a Sprint article there so you can get in there, figure out a way to get back and forth with us. And again, if you see this on Facebook or YouTube or any place, drop your comments in and let us know what you want to think or what you want to say about the story that we talked about, or if you got something else you want us to talk about. I will mention this. I did go back and look at some of the comments on one of the stories that we did last week regarding the people who were taking pictures with the cubs. They were pulling them out the trees and stuff like that. And there were so many people that were just like, is this news? Come on, you know. That is the whole point of the sprint. So obviously, whoever was commenting those comments had not watched this program before or clicked on the article. But that's what this is all about, is taking a break from the actual news cycle, things that are just hard hitting all the time, and just kind of pulling out those stories that wouldn't necessarily make it to the news, but would be something that a lot of people are talking about. And this story right here regarding this district attorney who was clowning, this is one of those stories that we're talking about. And again, these are kind of stories that come up to the surface. We bring them up. We talk about them, especially if everybody wants to talk about it, whether it's dated or not. We want to hear what your thoughts are. So that's what the sprint's about. I love doing this because it gives me a break from having to constantly read the depressing news all day. But it's always cool to see the good in our community and laugh together, joke together, and again, call things out when they need to be called out. So with that, thanks so much for joining us on the sprint today. We'll be back here again tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening at WSLS.com. You guys have a safe and wonderful Tuesday.